If this next sentence doesn't excite you, then click off. It's not for you. Boobs and jizz. But if it doesn't, you're up out of your chair and you're running around, you're like, yeah, ready for this? Let's go. Alright. Half a century ago, humanity fumbled the update patch, and strange humans started popping up. Some became heroes, some not so much. And now we get this guy, Takara, 8 years old, meeting a hot older girl, falls in love right off the bat. Fast forward, he's basically a Dragon Ball Z fanboy who actually thinks he can go Super Saiyan. Problem is, there's freaks with powers doing wild shit online, and Takara's not about that. He's gonna go out there and stop them. But how is he going to do that? He has no powers. But come on, we all know how this works. Deku didn't have any powers either. Somebody hands you a random glowing item, or a god shows up and boom, you're the main character now. And at the moment, Takara is getting hit by a car, almost. And he's about to let them have it, but then he sees boobs and yikes, giant ones. Turns out this walking thirst trap is Aria, Kurumu, Eleanor, Walter. Mad scientist, bad driver, CEO of Oops, I dropped my underwear, I hope you didn't see. After all this weird shit, he gets kidnapped. Standard anime shit. And she hits him with some experimental pills to unlock his hidden potential. And his hidden potential is something that's white, sticky, gunky. Bruh. I think we know this is. It's fucking cum. Bro's out here busting ghost ropes like Zeus after No Nut November. And just when it can't get any worse, a goth girl with Timu firepower shows up, sets herself on fire by accident, and Takara saves her by finishing on her. She's crying, he's drained. I don't know if this is Shonen Jump or Brazzers, but here we are. And yeah, it looks exactly like what you're thinking. Goth girl sitting there, drenched in Takara's sticky jutsu, emotionally broken like she just lost a 50-50 on a gacha game. And then she says she doesn't give up. Psych! The moment Takara turns his back, she's ready to light his dick on fire. But what she didn't know is this man can bust from anywhere. Bro, he spit on the floor like he's setting traps in Elden Ring, and she trips on that slip and slide of shame. They both go flying. He lands, hand on titties. Amazing scenes. And she was probably like, are we about to? Nah. But then, he hits the showers like a main character in a bad doujin, and bam, she's in there, fully naked, acting like this is normal. Takara's rolling home in a limo, and the government gave him the same thing people give YouTuber apologies, an F. I mean, he got an E, which is just the worst there. He's supposed to save the world, but can't even pass tutorial mode. Back at school, everyone's avoiding him like he's got the COVID. But he doesn't give a fuck. He's walking around school like he's fucking Spider-Man. First day back, hot girl transfer student. Bad attitude, sits next to him. Turns out, they know each other. And surprise, surprise, she's basically the school bully with built-in fan service. And the moment she meets him, she right away tells him he's under her supervision forever. Luckily for them, there's way more strangers than you probably think. There's a C-rank girl who wants them to be her servants, but they don't even pay attention. They don't fucking care. Electric Mika and Takara are reminiscing about the past, and who can make who their bitch. When they were younger, Takara was the only person who didn't care she was different. He just wanted to kick her ass because he's top dog. Unfortunately, she was taken away by the man in black, and they never saw each other again, till now. So the bully gets her ass clapped, and Takara's face in her pussy, but no one talked about that. Takara feels awful because he's not as strong as Mikan, and let's be honest, not even close. So then he goes to the nurse's office and asks to squeeze all his gel from him, but not in a sexual way. He just wants to get rid of his powers forever. He feels embarrassed. So, of course, with her giant titties, he just splashes on her. They call the cops. Takara wakes up gripping giant boobs like it was another alarm clock, and his parents don't even care. They could have fucked last night and they probably would have dapped them up. And Aria's already an adult already and she still wants to date this minor. But fuck it, it's manga. What are we gonna do? Send her to jail? Aria has made a team of idiots. The team is Takara the cum master, Sanagi the new person who's rich and an asshole, Yaobi the girl who gets jizzed on, and these group of dumbasses essentially become police officers for strangers. Normally people this weak would never be able to become cops, but since they're forming a group of 3, it's like there's one super strong person when they fuse. It's time to celebrate that they're a team now, so he jizzes all in the air and gets it on the girls. Some people like it, some people hate it. 50-50. Their first mission as a team is to capture these victims, which is a monkey and a frog, if they became humans and grew giant muscles. Sanagi uses her strongest insect to get rid of them, except the gorilla stomps on it and ends its life there and then. And that was her strongest creature. How weak can she be? And another team was assigned to capture them, but this ape is so strong he rips her clothes off, almost exposing her full tits, but only rips the bottom half. Fortunately, that doesn't turn them on. They're gay and want to fuck around with the boys instead. So the other group gets team rocketed away and blasts off. Takara's left to fight with this gorilla, and he was one punch away from being killed. Fortunately, Mikan saves the day. I love the angles in this manga. The frog wants a piece of Mikan, but this frog is going to be cooked with electricity. He pulls a Borat. He was going to fight her, but nah. That doesn't work. She rips her leggings and bolt tackles him. And that's it for the criminals. And then Aria comes out of the perfect moment and tries to push Electric Mikan to join their team, since they were almost killed trying to be cops. But she doesn't fucking want to do that. She doesn't want to be paired up with these losers. Although she agrees if they can defeat her, she will join them like they want. But if she wins, they gotta leave her the fuck alone. Even though Mikan's kind of mad, Sanagi is feeling very good about Takara. She actually loves him. His sticky, delicious gel, her words, is very cool. She wants to see some more of it. Also, Mikan's a fucking tsundere. Even though she said those really mean things, she feels really bad because she's staring at a photo of Takara and her as kids. The team is strategizing how to take her down, but they barely have powers, and she can make her arms and legs into lightning with one touch, and you're gone. You might be wondering, why is she called Electric Mikan? Well, the story goes, when Mikan was in elementary school, she was so happy to get a mandarin for lunch. Citrus taste, how easy they are to peel compared to oranges, delicious. Unfortunately, with her power, she would burn the hell out of them. And she would get embarrassed and everyone would laugh at her. And that's how the story goes. So the only way to defeat Mikan is by Aria telling them how to beat her. And the only reason why Aria is giving them the secret sauce, she's scared Mikan will kill herself if she's alone. Since Mikan can turn her arms and legs into electricity, while she's sleeping, she can shock her whole body and she'll just pass away because it's like sleeping next to a taser that's always on. You're going to get attacked eventually. So Takara goes on his training arc. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. If you're feeling bad for Mikan, don't worry. She wears special made socks and gloves everywhere, even the shower, to not kill herself. If I had to sleep with these gloves and it got too hot, I don't even think I'd be able to sleep ever. Mikan wants to de-escalate the situation, but Takara wants to kick her ass, so the fight will go on. Damn, her tits are so fat, they're falling out of her shirt. That is why Takara is jizzing everywhere. These girls look like cows. Fortunately, Mikan doesn't know their powers, so their plan is to pretend Yaobi can master the power of flames. While Mikan tries to fight her, a cockroach will land on her face, she'll get scared, but she steps on it. But what they didn't see is there's another bug, and it's called Takara being shirtless, and charges all the way towards her, and he comes all over her tits and face. She was embarrassed at first, but she gets so angry she almost kills them. But Takara's gel protects him from at least 95% of the shock. He ends the match by giving her a cinnamon swirl and pumps her good. GG's. I mean, Takara's pretty fucked up too. Mikan wakes up and is worried about Takara. When she gets to the room, he's awake, and not only does he brag to her face about him winning, and now she has to be part of the team, he gets her to apologize for almost killing him. Not bad, Takara. Not bad. Right after that, Aria notices on the rooftop that Takara's powers are gone, and the reason is unknown. We find out the reason why Takara wanted to be a stranger is because he remembers a stranger on the news who was hated just because he was a stranger, and that didn't fucking stop him. He wanted to save people no matter what. He would end up saying, "I'm here." And everyone thinks his powers are gone, but just in a few pages, he trips and squeezes Mikan's giant tits and he creams himself. Once again, yes, his powers are back. Ladies and gentlemen, Takara. After that, we find out that Aria's father planned this from the start. He put these girls together, it turns these horny men on. But I don't think they knew that there was a boy in their age range who's ready to destroy his plans, and he's ready to fuck. Electric Mikan was going to capture a villain, but her speech was way too long, so Takara speeds it up and ends up jizzing on her ass and face. Show he's the leader, not Mikan. Very primal, very animal-like. Since they couldn't decide who the leader was, they end up failing the mission. Since they didn't work as a team, they got 0 points, and Aria had to yell at everyone, and Mikan takes it the worst. After that, they decided to actually work as a team next time. But they're told a new member will join their team, and they think it's going to be another loser geek who's a fan of idols. No, it's the idol herself, and she already has a huge crush on Takara, so automatically they go on a date. He finds out her power is to turn back time for 5 seconds to fix anything. Example, if you get hit by a car, you save yourself. We get a glimpse of another male cop, but he's a male, so he's definitely not joining Takara's harem at all. He claims to be a hero of justice. But besides that, we find out, well, one more girl is excited over Takara coming on her. She just likes the smell so much. Takara thinks it's fate to meet this girl, since she has toast in her mouth while walking to school, and he might end up in a manga romance. The next scene is something you might think, hentai or just manga? Takara accidentally trips, bumps into some girl's tits, and one girl's on his dick while the other one's he's eating out. What the fuck is this? This is why it's pretty unhinged. Meanwhile, Aria knows there's something strange about an idol being here. Not to mention, she likes Takara a little too fast. Something up. She might be a spy sent by the government. So of course, Aria interrogates Ruri and finds out she's not an outlaw, which are people who use their powers for evil. And Ruri's not just sitting there, she's fighting back. So it gets a little bit awkward and it starts a cat fight. Remember that Hero of Justice guy? He's with Ruri, and they're both part of Eden, the government for strangers. Takara becomes an official superhero with his own grade D, which is one level above poop. Grade D, classic. After that, they all go to the library since they think reading will give them stronger powers. That's when they discuss two theories, stranger disease theory and mankind disease theory. To just cut it short, too much power, you get a debuff, and if your powers are too weak, you get nothing, but you're weak. After that, Takara shows them he's a man. Arya is told by the suits there's another air-raid stranger, and it's crazy since they're treating strangers like prisoners. Outlaws are taking down strangers left and right. Aria calls Takara's harem to take them down. When Takara hears a 10-year-old has wind powers, he gets so pressed since he wants that. He wants to blow people away. He wants to scream out, wind powers! So it's going well. Sonegi's bugs find Windchild, except Windchild almost knocks Takara out, cold. And just to make the situation worse, Golden Lion King also joins the mix. And if one wasn't enough, but fortunately for them, he can't attack. He can only use his light to blind people. That's why he's also a level E. But that doesn't stop him from kicking Takara's ass. He knows martial arts, that's how he beats people. He blinds them, then knocks their teeth out. Fortunately, Takara can dodge really well. Of course, because he's gonna die if he doesn't. Mikan shows up and it's smooth sailing from here, but Takara falls for another booby trap. Unfortunately, the Lion King can absorb Mikan's lightning, so her moves are ineffective. So Ruri comes and saves the day, and she has a very good plan. Embarrass the villain by putting Takara's head between her tits and making it look like a penis, which she just comes and defeats her that way. We also find that the lion can't absorb the lightning. It was a fake thing the whole time. It was just an illusion. They're gonna get it now. She basically almost kills him. She doesn't give a fuck. They failed the mission, but they were not yelled at. They couldn't capture the Windchild, so they failed. Mikan is crying since she has never failed a mission. She runs away and Takara knows exactly where to find her. But he's not the first to approach her. Ruri finds out where she is first. It's complicated and it's hard to help Mikan because she thinks everyone's trying to trick her. I also like how in Mikan's eyes, Takara is really buff, even though he's kind of a skinny guy. I suppose love is blind. Mikan explains she was locked up in a training facility since she was a little girl, so it was really hard to have friends. And she has always hated her powers, but it feels good getting praise for everyone who likes her electric powers. So that's why she's taking it so hard. Ruri tells her a story about her past as well. To make her feel better. When Ruri was 5, she obtained her powers. Her mom and dad broke up because her father hates strangers, so she blames herself. Ruri always loved her mother for not caring she was a stranger. But when she was 12, a couple of outlaws killed her mom. Man. And of course she tried to use her time magic, but it didn't work. There's not enough time to reverse. Then Ruri tells her the only difference between her and Mikan is Mikan has friends. Stop crying, people actually love you. And of course it's been too long before someone's jizzed on, so there it is. They need to meet their quota or they're fired. They have found the Windchild and she's with a new group called Rebirth. And they have taken a small mall of people hostage and they're going to kill one person every hour. And they're not joking. Don't worry, Takara has a plan. They have to send a scapegoat, and who is it? Mikan votes herself since she failed the mission. But no, the number one gooner will take the hit. It's good he did it because the criminals are very similar to him. Low level, all talk, and want more than they can handle. Takara knows this and uses this to his advantage and creates a distraction so the crew can strike and save the people. Takara and Mikan are fighting the other team and they're destroying themselves. W. After Takara puts calm on them, the biggest challenge is defeating the Windchild since she activates her biggest move, Cyclone. Fortunately, Takara knows if you find the middle of the cyclone, it can't blow you away and blows jizz all over the people around. Almost to the girl, but Mikan shocks him instead before he jizzes on her. Nobody wants to catch a queso. Huge pass, instead he jizzes on her instead. They won, but the last bad guy is still alive. Put that aside for now, Ruri's boyfriend just showed up and he looks like Mikan, and he's insanely strong. Unfortunately, he isn't a nice guy. He almost kills Takara. If Mikan didn't act like a shield, he would be completely dead. Before they leave, Ruri ends up healing Mikan just enough for her not to completely lose all her breath. Now Takara is being attacked by dumbasses that now know he's a weak person. Shockingly, this blondie was Takara before Takara, but he knew this is lame, so he said, peace, I'm out of here. This isn't doing anything for me. Takara's crew is ordered not to fight him because he'll obliterate their heads off. And they also can't fight outlaws without Mikan, so they are banned from fighting. Takara doesn't give a fuck, he's still gonna fight outlaws. Some of these outlaws still get a fistful of his cum, and the trends can get it too. He doesn't discriminate, but the boss likes the redhead girl, and that was Takara's cue to run away. Yaobi doesn't have the strongest of powers, but after a new girl shows up, that all changes. Yaobi was given gear, and now she has true Chinubyo powers, and she's here to fight this ugly bitch and send her to hell. And this super fucking random, but she ends up squeezing her tits because she's so turned on by how strong she is. Except Yaobi stopped fighting her and is gonna fight Ruri instead. Yaobi's so strong, she just has to look at you and she'll burn you, so Ruri is kind of fucked right now, until she thinks of something very smart. She ends up standing next to gasoline, and if she gets anywhere close, they'll both blow up. Fortunate for Ruri, she can teleport and reverse time, so Yaobi is the only person still in the building that blows up, but she doesn't get affected by her fire. Or at least not that much, so it doesn't end the game here. But before all this, we have to reminisce on Ruri almost getting raped and Mr. Hero saving her, which he did again now, kicking another girl's ass. And Takara gets her at the same time, so it's Takara versus Toya. And of course it's a shonen manga, so they have to do what shonen manga does. Takara and Toya have a screaming match about how friendship is real, no, friendship is fake, and then they start fighting. And Toya wants to eliminate her, but she's super strong right now. Fortunately for him, the darkness fades away and she falls asleep, and now it's perfect time for Toya to go over there and kill her without any tussle. While Takara's gel can block fire and thunder powers, not super fast ones like Toya can. It's over for Takara. Or so you thought. Mikan shows up at the perfect time. Although Mikan is almost out of commission, she has 2 zaps in her left. But no matter, Takara is the hero. He will save them, and surprisingly, he does. Remember when I said hold that thought? His powers have been transformed. He can absorb and he can slide super fast on it. So he's close to being the fastest person here aside from Mikan. And he goes over there and one punches his fucking face. And on top of that, Ruri and Toya both go to jail. Then the whole story flips on its head when we find out Aria has been planning this since the beginning. Even the bad guys they fought were paid off. Meanwhile, Yaobi is now an A-lister. She doesn't want the power, she just wants to be stupid and left alone. A classic manga where someone can be jizzed on and there's still friendship involved. Everyone's laughing, everyone's having a good time. But that night, Takara goes home, and on TV, Aria's in a bad guy uniform, and she's telling the whole world either understand this world's going to be ran with strangers or get out of the way and die. And then randomly, a classmate of Takara ends up telling him she's been trying to prove that strangers aren't bad. And she's only helping them because they helped out the mall. She would be dead otherwise. They see the frog bad guy, and Mikan chases after him, trying to defeat him, but it was all the ruse, all the trick. Now they have to fight everyone they've fought in this manga before. So of course they're outnumbered until Toya shows up and blows them away. How did he get out of jail? The higher-ups at Eden let him out since he's chill with them. Eden's working against Aria to find out all her bullshit. Toya leaves this to Takara, and without saying it, he takes back all his statements on how Takara won't be a hero and how friendship is stupid. And because of this, Toya now knows the meaning of friendship. You know that goddess that gave Yaobi her gear? Well, now they have to fight her, and she can use the move Protect from Pokemon. They don't have Brick Break. How are they gonna break through this wall? Meanwhile, Takara goes and fights Aria by himself. Once Takara gets there, he thinks it's a joke, and he tells her she should cut it out because someone is here to kill her. And he doesn't want to believe everyone he captured is let out of prison for a fucking point. Aria wants to be the bad guy, so the strangers are looked at as the good ones, and she's the bad one. Although she will not be defeated, even though that's her objective. She almost defeats Takara right there, right then. I guess she wants it to look realistic. She needs a real hero to take this villain down. During the fight, we find out that Mikan is in love with Takara. What? No one's surprised. Yaobi gets so jealous that she burns the Protect off of the goddess, and now Mikan goes and strikes her. Not just with her thunder, but gives her a big ass spanking on her butt. This is the best scene in the whole manga. Aria has no ability, just superhuman strength. Somehow Takara's classmate slipped in and was live streaming the whole thing. The comment section is insane. Since this live stream was seen, Aria is now looked at as a villain and strangers are the hero. It all worked out for her. And then we find out really quickly that Mikan and Aria have been friends since elementary school. I think they told us this because Aria is about to die since the government wants her dead, and this assassin's about to throw it off. But Takara threatens to jizz all over her and everyone in this room if she doesn't let her go. Mikan zaps his dick, and he explodes all over them. He's been stowing that shit for days. So they find a middle. Instead of killing her, they're just gonna arrest her. Mikan's really upset with this because they're arresting her best friend. While she's locked up, Takara's team will save the whole town and change the way people look at strangers. You know, even though that manga was kind of weird and very ecchi, I'd still give this manga about a 7 out of 10. I think it had a point at the beginning and it ended with a point. Some of these mangas just end terribly, out of nowhere, and the characters, very hot. Story, funny, sexy. It was great. Only reason why it's not a 10 is character development isn't that good. They could have gone much further with their powers, not just from E to A. But I get it, the manga publishers were, alright, you're getting cancelled. Wrap this up now. Don't make an excuse, do it now. And so they came up with this. Tell me your thoughts on Rising X Rydeen in the comment section below. Have you read it? Are you going to read it? Peace.